you don't have a helmet nearby, that could be your best option. So we're going to be talking about that storm coming into the city of Collins here at about 4 minutes. So it's currently 4:52 right now. That'll be coming into Collins at 4:56, and then that'll be moving off towards the east. So we're talking about Mitchell Farms right at 5:05 this morning, Oak Bowery at around 5:09, Hebron at 5:12, and then eventually coming into Ellisville at 5:24 should it hold together, and Laurel the next on the path at around 5:30. So we're going to continue to monitor this storm. The Weather Service is watching it pretty carefully. One thing I do want to do now is let's go ahead and put back over into velocity mode. So this is what we normally look for when we're looking for tornadoes. So we look for a bright green and a bright red next together. What I am seeing here is going to be near the city of Collins. That's where the little bit of the rotation is. I think it's a little bit broader than what the Weather Service is saying, but they are a little smarter than I am. Some of them went to school a bit longer than I did, and they got better grades, so they obviously know what they're going to be talking about here. But that right there is going to be into the city of Collins. So this is the area that I'm watching. Another thing that we're watching too is not only the threat for a tornado, it's the threat of hail falling. We've been talking about this as well all along that 49 corridor from Collins out towards Mount Olive. So if you're in Hot Coffee, if you're out towards Mitchell Farms, if you live along 84 east of Collins, you need to go and protect your car now, because there is some hail coming your way. And one thing we can also do with the radar is look for signs of debris. One good thing that I'm not seeing out here this morning is any debris that is coming down or any debris being lofted up. So we don't have any signs of a tornado on the ground, and that is good news. We're seeing a lot of noise out here, but we're not seeing any debris signatures. But we're still watching for the possibility of a possible tornado in and around the city of Collins this morning. It'll be out towards the Williamsburg area, so out towards Old Williamsburg Road, 184. It is coming into the west side of town this morning, and out towards Seminary Williamsburg Road, out towards Cold Springs Road, and right here, this little road right here is out towards Cola Road. So you got Woolwine about right here where the D and Cold Springs Road is. Everybody knows where Woolwine Ford is. Sullivan Motors out there as well. You can't miss them there as you're coming into town. Two of the biggest buildings there in Collins, and they're getting the commerce done. But right now they're taking shelter because we got a possible tornado near that area this morning. So it's coming right near the city of Collins. It'll be going right over the intersection of 49 and 84 out there. So you need to be in your safe spot now, coming directly on top of Collins. No reports of any tornadoes on the ground with this now, but this storm continues to move off towards the east at about 45 miles per hour this morning, and we're going to continue to watch it as it moves off towards the east. Now we're getting close to the top of the hour. Some of you will start to be joining us for WDM7 Sunrise, and you may be wondering, Patrick, why are you on the air? I don't have anything going on at my house, but the reason we are on the air is because there's a tornado warning for Covington County and for Jones County, the western part of Jones County, until 5:30 this morning. So here's the only areas that we're tracking this morning, and you can see those into the red boxes there. And let's see, one more thing I want to try to do is get the info box to pop up. Sometimes technology doesn't work, that's fine, but there it is. So we got these tornado warning for Covington and Jones County. That's going to go until 5:30 this morning, but we also got a tornado watch for the entire viewing area until 10 a.m. So let's see. Will it work for me? There we go. You see everybody's under the red box, so that's a tornado watch in effect until 10 a.m. for pretty much the entire viewing area. If you're watching me this morning on your TV, that's where you're under a tornado watch. So we're under a tornado watch for pretty much all of South Mississippi, and that's going to go until about 10 a.m. and that's the latest that we have from the Storm Prediction Center. So one thing I want to do now is head back over to Analyst Doppler Radar, and this right here is the First Alert High-Res Doppler. Some special tools that we got about a year or two ago. This right here is Gibson Ridge, and what we're looking at is the storm moving right on top of the city of Collins. This is moving off towards the east at about 45 to 50 miles an hour. You can see that red box that goes as far east as So-So and out towards the West Jones Elementary High School, or the West Jones Elementary School, West Jones High School, I should say, just to the north of it. So officially, Laurel, Ellisville, Moselle, you're not under the tornado warning, but just off towards your west, a couple of miles, they are under that tornado warning, and the area of rotation right now moving right directly over the city of Collins. I'm not seeing any any debris signatures just yet with the storm. Off towards the north of it, though, just to the east of Mount Olive, we're tracking for the possibility of some large hail as well. So there it is right now, moving from west to east at 45 miles an hour. One thing I'm going to do, though, is walk over here to see if I have anything new coming in from the National Weather Service, if they got anything new coming in on chat. Let's see. The fire department is reporting rotating clouds in the Williamsburg area. So that is definitely not good news. We got that area of low-level rotation right on top of the city of Collins. So that's just coming in a few minutes ago at 4:53. Fire department reporting rotating clouds. That's going to be the Collins Fire Department near the Williamsburg area. And that was about 5 to 10 minutes ago. So that area of rotation is now moving directly on top of Collins, and you need to be into your safe spot right now. That'll be moving off towards the east. So Cola at the top of the hour, Mitchell Farms at around 5:06 this morning, Oak Bowery at 5:11, 5:22 towards Mount Zion, and should this hold together, Ellisville by 5:26. So that's the latest that we have with that this morning. This right here is an early morning round of severe weather that's moving in across the Pine Belt this morning. And just to kind of look at what's going on is the entire area basically is under that slight risk for severe weather between now and really the greatest risk of severe weather will go between about now and noon, but we can't rule out the possibility of maybe a strong storm or two later on into the afternoon, but the tornado threat would be over by about 12 o'clock. But the winds up to 60 miles an hour, some hail, maybe a spin-up tornado or two. That's why we're on the air with the tornado warning as well. And for where you need to be this morning, you need to be in that interior most room. Obviously, a basement is your safest bet, but a lot of people around here don't have a basement. But if you don't worry. Go into that interior most room. We're talking about away from windows, away from any exterior walls. And as I said earlier, if you don't have that interior most room, what you can do is go into a hallway, close all the doors, and make sure you have the pillows, the helmet, put some blankets on top of you for padding. Keep your cell phone with you. And also put on some shoes. This is something I always talk about very well, because if, God forbid, you do get hit by a tornado, you may have to climb out. And you definitely don't want to do that barefoot, because there would be a lot of sharp objects, possibly nails. So have shoes ready. That way you're ready to go. And of course, you can watch us either on the First Alert Weather app or just listen to us by turning up the volume really loud on your TV. And we always say we're basically talking to you on every single platform. And here's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. You can watch us on TV on 7.1, of course, Comcast, DirecTV. But if your signal's going out, don't worry. Or if you're losing power, we're streaming right now on the First Alert Weather app on Roku TV as well. We got the WDAM7 app. We got an app for Amazon Fire TV as well. And of course, streaming worldwide on WDAM.com and on Facebook Live. I'm streaming right now on my page, Patrick Bigby, WDAM, this morning. So we're going to continue to track this as we move from the west to the east. Thank you very much, Zach. We got some a water bottle coming in here. I'll need that in a second. But we're going to continue to watch this one storm as it moves from the west to the east. And as I've been saying, this is a tornadic storm, but I'm really concerned about the possibility of hail in this storm as well. And look at that, the bright pink and even white now showing up with this storm. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean this up just a hair so you can kind of get a better idea of what we're looking at. And look at some of those bright returns coming in. This is going to be out towards areas around Hot Coffee. So if you're in Hot Coffee, that's going to be the northeast portion of Covington County this morning. That is where I'm very concerned about the possibility of hail this morning out towards Hot Coffee. And look at that, the bright pinks, the bright white, that is going to be where your hail core is, and you're probably seeing some good hail coming down right now. If you are seeing it, just send me a message or post it on my Facebook page, Patrick Bigby WDAM, if you can do so safely. If not, don't worry about it. It's not worth your life for me to see some pictures of hail. I've seen hail before. It all looks the same. But if it is hailing at your house, let us know this morning out to the northern portions of Covington County. That'll be coming into Soso pretty soon as well. So if you're out towards Soso, if you're out towards Highway 84, if you're out towards Laurel, should this storm hold together, we could see the hail core moving on top of you. Now, the area of rotation is sitting right here just to the east of Collins, kind of between Collins and Oak Bowery. And that's going to be moving moving off towards the east this morning, and pretty much that entire area, the northern portion of Covington County and for portions of western Jones County under that tornado warning until 5:30. All right, so right now it is 5:03, so you're now joining us on WDM7 Sunrise. You're watching us around the world on WDM7, WDM7.com, and on Facebook as well. So we're tracking everything that's going on as we start off your day. WDM7 Laurel, Hattiesburg, and here is the start to your day. And unfortunately, the news is weather. We got a tornado warning area rotation just to the east of Collins. But look at this, a nice little hail core approaching Hot Coffee. Would not be surprised to see large hail falling in Hot Coffee right now over the next minute or two. We rarely ever get up here into the pinks, and if we do, it's short-lived, but it's super rare for us to see the white show up on the radar. So that shows you there is a good sign that this storm has some large hail with it as it's moving directly over Hot Coffee. And that hail core is going to be on the northern side of the tornado, possible tornado I should say, but that's going to be riding all along Highway 84 this morning as we track things off from the west to the east. So there it is this morning. One thing I do want to come back over here and do is to check Weather Service chat. I don't see anything coming in this morning and no new information since the top of the hour, and that's good news. Give me 1 second. All right. Boy, it's always nice to have a little drink of water when you're talking for a very long time. All right, so what we're going to do is kind of reset the map, show you what's going on this morning. This right here is a live look, Southern Pine electric radar as we start off your day this morning. And what we're watching is this band of showers and thunderstorms that fired up earlier along I-20, and they're slowly starting to sink off towards the south this morning. Now, the entire viewing area has been placed under a tornado watch until 10 a.m. So if you're within the sound of my voice, you're under that tornado watch until 10 a.m. and you can see your county scrolling along the list if you're watching us on TV with our warning map there on the bottom of the screen. The one area that I'm really concerned about is out towards portions of Covington County. This is going to be on the eastern side of Covington County now, and that'll be coming into western Jones County pretty soon. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the zoom box. We're going to zoom in on top of it, and we're going to give you kind of a street level idea of what is going on with this storm. Laurel, you're not under the tornado warning as of right now, but this is going to be as far east as the Oak Bowery area and out towards So-So. So So-So out just to the north of Moselle, all along the 84 corridor, 588 as well, 590, and it's really about as far east as the exit just to the west of Laurel, State Highway 29 and US 84. All right. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and put it back on Super Res this morning. Big area of hail falling right now on Hot Coffee, but the tornado threat is down here towards Oak Bowery. We'll flip this back over to velocity mode this morning, and that gives us kind of an idea of what we are looking at. So we're looking at the possibility of maybe the rotation right on top of Oak Bowery now. This is now east of Collins, wholly east of Collins. And in fact, it's on the county line between Covington County and Jones County, right there on top of Oak Bowery this morning. Thank you so much, Marva. Didn't realize I was mispronouncing that, but I thank you so much. And this is moving off towards the east. So eventually coming down the line, the next in line is going to be Ellisville. And so what we're going to do is put a path cast on this and show you who is next. So this is moving off towards the east at about 45 miles per hour. And eventually, if this holds together, Oak Bowery within the next minute or two, Mount Zion by 5:19, Ellisville at 5:23. It'll eventually be coming into Laurel, the Laurel Airport, also known as Noble Field, at 5:25. Downtown Laurel at 5:30 this morning, and just to the other side, out towards Tucker's Crossing at around 5:31. So we're going to continue to monitor this. We'll have to see if the Weather Service decides to go downstream with this tornado warning. Obviously, they got about another 10 minutes before they have to make that decision because the storm is still inside the tornado warning, so it's still got a little bit more time, but they're going to have to make that decision pretty much in the next 5 to 10 minutes. One thing we can also do is look for any signs of debris with the storm. Right now, let's see, double click it. There we go. And we're not seeing any signs of debris. That's good news. What we are seeing, or let me rephrase this, what we should be looking for, it would be a blue dot in the middle of this red. Now this right here is a lot of blue, but this is out ahead of it. This is actually that storm producing a hail signature on our debris detection. So this right here is not actually happening. It's the hail messing up the radar signal, but we are seeing some pretty good signs of some large hail falling with this storm. And yes, boy, oh boy, that is not what you want to see, up into the red. Once you get above red on the hail size, that's when it can start producing damage to cars. So along Highway 84 out towards Hot Coffee, we're seeing signs on the radar of hail up to 2 inches. So that's going to be golf ball size hail, and some of that even extends as far south as Oak Bowery. So if you're out towards Soso, the west side of Jones County along 84, you need to go ahead and get that car protected down because this storm is producing a lot of signs of some very large hail. And look at that. As I said earlier, we don't normally see the whites on the radar, but there it is out towards Hot Coffee. Large hail falling out there this morning, and it is causing a little bit of a problem with the radar. That's why you saw the issue with the debris signature. We're not seeing any signs of debris out there, but it is messing up the signal. And so this right here is not actually debris. That's the radar beam bouncing up and down on the ground as it goes through the hail. It's creating a false signature, but no signs of a tornado on the ground right now, but the rotation is still definitely there, and it's out towards Oak Bowery this morning and moving along Highway 5 out towards 588 and 590. That'll be eventually coming into Ellisville pretty soon. And as I said, that would be coming into Ellisville right around 520 to 530 this morning should this hold together. Now for the rest of the viewing area this morning, what are you looking at? Well, you're looking at this. We're looking at a lot of heavy rain off towards the north along the 84 corridor, Waynesboro, Laurel out towards Collins. A lot of rain falling this morning as these storms move from west to east. Elsewhere, the rest of the Pine Belt not under any kind of warnings, but we are under a tornado watch until 10 a.m. No storms in Columbia, no storms in Hattiesburg, Petal, out towards Oak Grove, or New Augusta. It's all confined along that 84 corridor. But also one thing to notice, look at all the lightning happening there around Collins and just to the west of Laurel this morning. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to walk off camera and I'm going to load up our sky cam out towards the city of Laurel. We're going to take a look at all the lightning that is happening with this storm as it moves from west to east across the area. So we're going to double box this, and there it is. The sky cam is on the left, the radar on the right, and we're looking off towards the west this morning from Sunbelt Federal Credit Union. We got a lot of lightning with this storm, and like I said, the area of rotation is near Oak Bowery, but the area with a large hail is near Hot Coffee. Now let's head over to Ellisville. I'm going to point this camera off towards the west. A lot of lightning with this storm this morning. Look at all the lightning that is currently happening as we spin the camera around as this storm kind of moves from west to east. So this is a very electric storm this morning as that storm moves from the west to the east. We're going to have to watch this carefully. I'm going to actually point the camera to the west, due west from Laurel now. So we're looking from Sunbelt Federal Credit Union, and a lot of rain starting to come down out there this morning and a lot of lightning with this storm as well. But as we've been talking about, there is two threats with this storm this morning. One, the most severe, of course, is the tornado threat. That is down here towards Oak Bowery, and that'll be eventually moving towards Ellisville. The second threat that I'm concerned about is hail. We're seeing indications of golf ball size hail right on top of Hot Coffee right now. That's only a few minutes away from Soso, and that's moving off towards the east. And should it continue, that would move over Laurel. So a two-pronged approach for both county seats in the free state of Jones. One, the possible tornado moves towards Ellisville. Two, the hail core moves towards Laurel. So we're looking at a two-pronged approach. So even though you may be not in the path of the tornado, you could be in the path of hail. What's that? That's the weather radar. So we're getting some new information coming in this morning. So the latest from the Weather Service is they're going to continue the tornado warning until 5:30 this morning. At 5:10, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 10 miles northwest of Ellisville, and they're now saying it slowed down just a little bit down towards now the east at about 40 miles per hour. So we're going to be watching we're going to be watching this storm as it continues to move from the west to the east this morning. Let me grab a sip of water real fast. All right. Now, on the map, you're seeing two areas of tornado warning. I want to correct you on this. The first one out here towards Collins, they're going to cancel that one. They just haven't had time to officially do it. That's the old warning, but the new warning is the one that's in Jones County, and this is truly where the only threat remains is going to be for that one. The other one, not so much. So this one right here, just ignore it, but this is the one that I'm watching carefully this morning. So we're going to continue to monitor this. A ton of lightning currently coming down with this line of storms this morning. Let's put a query on this, and it'll show you just how much lightning is in this one storm alone. 246 lightning strikes in the past 5 minutes. That's for areas around Collins, Laurel, and out towards Bay Springs. Definitely a crazy start to your day up in the City Beautiful this morning, out towards Bay Springs as well, seeing a lot of lightning from this storm. But as I was saying earlier, I am concerned for the threat of not only the tornado, but for the threat of some large hail out towards Hot Coffee. Once we start seeing red on the hail markers here, that is up to 2 inches, and that could be possibly some golf ball size hail right there, kind of between Hot Coffee and Oak Bowery this morning as this storm moves from west to east. So we're going to continue to monitor that. But the other thing that we're watching is that tornado threat. So what I want to point back out, we'll flip this back over to velocity mode, and this allows us to see where the raindrops are moving from west to east. One thing that we're not seeing as tight as we were, I would say about 5 to 10 minutes ago, is that there's no real bright indication of the rotation from one side of the storm to the other. So we're not seeing that tight couplet. We're seeing more of a line kind of lined up there from a line of red, a line of green, and not just a spot of it. So that right there is kind of good news. It would signify that the storm may be starting to transition away from a tornado threat and into a damaging wind threat, but it's still kind of too early to say. This right here is some early signatures that it may be shifting away. It also may be trying to cycle, so we're going to see. One thing that I do notice now is that the National Weather Service is going to now issue a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Jones County. So what we're going to do is pull up the warning, and we're going to go into the warning info box. Let's see, try that one more time. As I've said, sometimes technology doesn't necessarily always work. So what we have going on now, I'll flip that off so you can see what's going on. But what you have right now is a new severe thunderstorm warning until 6 a.m. So it may appear that they're going to switch this over from a tornado threat to a severe thunderstorm threat. Let me walk back over here and look at the computer and see what they're saying from the Weather Service on Weather Service chat. Let's see. Storm is not looking as impressive right now. They're going to likely downgrade and go into a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is good news. We're going to ride with this for about another 5 minutes, but they're now saying that they're going to let the tornado warning expire, and they're now shifting it to a damaging wind and a large hail threat with this storm. And so they're switching it away from the tornado threat. The tornado threat is starting to go back down, but they're going to switch it over to a hail threat and for gusty winds. And one reason for that is this right here. Look at that, bright red. That right there is up to 2-inch size in diameter hail. That's up to golf ball size hail, and that's where you start to get the possibility of damaging cars once it gets up to 2 inches. So that's moving from west to east along 84 this morning. And the biggest area of concern, let me see, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit tighter, is gonna be this. So the storm now is into western Jones County, and we're getting a little bit tighter on this. So out towards Soso, out towards Hot Coffee, just to the north of Oak Bowery, out towards Soso, Big Creek Road, Danny Hilburn Road, Sand Hill Church, out towards Hebron Centerville Road, Pitts Road, all along these areas out towards Madison Creek, and eventually the high school. It's out here just to the south of the Soso area. That is moving right, so the high school is here, but the elementary school is here at 29 and 84. That's at the intersection of that. So this right here is all the areas that could be seeing this large hail moving from west to east. So there's the high school there. The elementary school sits right about there. And this storm continues to move off towards the east at about 45 miles per hour this morning. So we're going to continue to track it this morning over the next little bit as this storm kind of moves off towards the east. One thing I'm going to do is zoom out just a tad. I don't think it's going to let me, so I'll just switch back over to home view. And while we do that, we'll show you everything else that's going on across the area. We'll flip back over to normal radar and we'll take the boxes off. That way you can kind of get a clear picture of what's going on. So the entire viewing area is under a tornado watch until 10 a.m. this morning for the possibility of some storms that could have a possible tornado. This storm had the indications of a possible tornado earlier. It was just radar indicated. We haven't seen any signs that it has touched the ground. Another approach that we might have a problem with is hail. And that's what we're looking at now. So the Weather Service is switching to a severe thunderstorm warning. They're going to downgrade from a tornado warning to a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's going to be for the city of Laurel and for Ellisville until 6 a.m. Notice everybody else not seeing any severe weather. It's just Jones County that's really dealing with it this morning. Hattiesburg is quiet. Columbia is quiet. New Augusta is quiet as well. But that's going to be continuing to move off towards the east. And you notice this other red box here. That's the old tornado warning. It's just not being deleted from the Weather Service yet. They haven't had a chance to delete it. That storm, that right there is nothing going on anymore. That right there is just an old artifact, but this is the storm of the hour right now. So what we'll kind of do is zoom back in on the city of Laurel, and that's the area that I'm really concerned about. A ton of lightning with this storm. We'll clean up the image just a touch, and there's your hail core. Look at that, the bright purples, the pinks, the whites. Yes, that is some very large hail inside the storm. We hardly ever see the radar turn white, but when we do, that's a very good indication that there is some large hail. And that's going to be moving into the city of Laurel this morning here within the next little bit. So if you're in Laurel this morning, just to the north of Ellisville, you need to be ready. Make sure your car is protected because we're looking at the possibility out towards Spring Hill Road, out towards Highway 28, out towards the West Jones High School area of some quarter to maybe golf ball size hail falling with this storm this morning. That, of course, will be coming right into the city of Laurel pretty soon. And normally, as I've said, we don't usually deal with the whites, but here we are, we're having to deal with it. So what I'm going to do is put a path cast on that hail core, and we'll draw it into Laurel. So right now, it's sitting right on near the county line, and it'll come into areas around Laurel, right around the airport at 5:25, the city of Laurel by 5:30. So within about 10 minutes, you could be having hail falling at your house in Laurel. Out towards 5:31 around the Glades community, 5:32 out of Eastview. That's also around the Powers community coming in around 5:34. So around Northeast Jones High School, you could also be dealing with the hail pretty soon as well. And like I said, the hail core of this storm is traveling straight down Highway 84, so that'll be coming into Laurel here by the top of the hour, coming in at around 5:30. So I'm really concerned about large hail now moving into a very populated area that would be coming into the city of Laurel. And what we're also looking at is the possibility of some gusty winds with this storm as well. The good news is that the tornado threat has kind of weakened with this storm. So this storm is not showing any signs of rotation anymore. But we are concerned about the hail that is now moving down Highway 84. So if you're in the city of Laurel right now, you have to make sure you are ready for this. If you got a minute or two, maybe get your car under the garage, under a carport, under something, a lean-to, because we could be seeing some hail. In fact, like I said, we rarely see the white on the radar, and when we do, that's a very good sign that the storm has hail. And we've been seeing hail markers with this storm for about an hour now. So large hail along Highway 84 near Soso out to the west part of the county, and that'll be coming into the Laurel Airport as well. So here we are, we're sitting here at about 5:22 this morning, and we originally broke in around 4:30 for a tornado warning with this cell when it was over Simpson County. It moved through Collins. We haven't got any reports of damage just yet, but we are possibly going to start to see reports of damage in hail. So this storm has switched over from a tornado threat to a hail threat as it comes into the city of Laurel. The Weather Service is now downgrading the tornado warning to a severe thunderstorm warning. And let's see, I got a new tone going off. Let's see, that most likely is a cancellation of the original tornado warning. Let's see. Yeah, so that right there is the cancellation of that old box that would not go away. So the Weather Service is has killed that lingering tornado warning, and that's good news. So we've switched away from a tornado threat to a severe thunderstorm threat as a lot of heavy rain moves into the city of Laurel this morning. We'll double box this, and in a minute or two, I'm going to let the producers make a decision because I'm going to be switching things back over from weather, and they can either take over the 5 o'clock show or let me ride until 5:30, whichever they decide to do, because this is now transitioning away from a tornado threat and into a severe thunderstorm threat. So there it is on the left. That's the sky cam in Laurel. Look at all the heavy rain falling out there this morning. Boy, a lot of lightning with it too. This right here, we'll have to be watching that for the possibility of some hail falling there within the next 5 to 10 minutes. And over here on the right, the city of Laurel, and there is the box, and there is the possibility of some of that hail with the pink and white coming in towards Ellisville and Laurel. So I'm gonna let the producers make the decision. What do you want to do? Just let me know in the ear. I can either stay with this until terminal break, or if you want me to turn it over now, we can. So just let me know what y'all decide to do. Okay, so we're going to go until 27. So you're going to stay with me until the rest of the bottom of the hour. But as I've been saying, the storm is now transitioned away from a tornado threat into a severe thunderstorm. But there is the good chance of large hail about to start falling over the city of Laurel. And one thing I want to do is reposition this box so you can get a better idea of what we are looking at with this storm as it moves over the city of Laurel. Look at that, the bright pink, the bright white with this storm out towards the Laurel Airport, Laurel High School. You're all seeing this morning. So that right there is a good risk of hail falling with this storm now. So that's one thing that we're worried about now is just hail and gusty winds. It's going to seem like the world is about to come to an end in Laurel because of the hail, the gusty winds, a ton of lightning, and heavy rain falling with this storm. So if you're in the city of Laurel and you got hail falling, shoot me a message on Facebook, Patrick Bigby WDAM, and that way we can get your hail reports coming in this morning. And only do so if you can do so safely. If not, don't worry about it. I've seen hail fall before. It all looks like ice. And that's what we're going to be looking at. So the Weather Service is going to cancel the tornado warning here within the next few minutes. So there's no longer a tornado threat for Jones County or for anyone in the Pine Belt at this moment. No storms are rotating, but the big concern now is a large hail threat coming into the city of Laurel, out towards Laurel High School, the city of Laurel out towards the airport. Look at that, the bright pinks, the white. We rarely see white, but when we do, that's a good sign that hail is likely falling this morning. So we're going to continue to keep you updated with this storm as it moves off towards the east. Areas downstream along 84, Powers, out towards Myrick, Mill Creek, Northeast Jones High School, and eventually towards Ucutta, Tucker's Crossing, and Ellisville. You need to make sure you're ready because you're going to be seeing some large hail falling within the next 10 to 15 minutes here as this storm moves off towards the east. A lot of lightning with it, hail, heavy rain, and the possibility of gusty winds as this storm moves through the area. But like I said, we came on at 4:30 for the storm having a tornado warning. The Weather Service is canceling the tornado warning, and they're going into a severe thunderstorm warning, so they are downgrading it. They're no longer seeing the threat of a tornado, but they are seeing the threat of large hail falling across Laurel right now. So we're going to be watching that pretty soon as this moves off towards the east. Normal newscast will resume here at the bottom of the hour. We'll have more coming up in just a minute or two.